Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Yeah, baby! What's up, people?
What's happening?
How you doing? How y'all doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, fine. I'm fine. How you doing out there in the great land of Canada?
Well.
You're doing well? Good. I'm glad you're doing well. But we got a great guest coming up today. Oh, it's going to be fun, people. There's going to be a lovely guest. This is us, of course, but this guest is coming up today.
Yes.
Rekhit
Kajara.
The one, the only, yes. The one, the only Kajara, Priestess Kajara.
Yes.
Let's get that name right. I know there's a whole lot of names, but we're going to have her break that down. And we got next week, we got the one and only Mr. Paul Campbell coming in. Not a mercy. We got him coming in next week, so that's going to be off the hook. The one and only Paul Campbell. So I can't wait. But tonight, we got this beautiful sister coming in, and it's a long time coming with me and her because we talked about it. I know she probably wanna hit me with one of her staff. She be selling.
Oh, I think
she had one of those.
All love.
One of the Kemet staffs that she be selling.
Right.
But we're gonna be bringing on in the next 2 minutes. Well, family, I want everybody to please like and subscribe and share, that, and comment, but give us some positive commentary. Don't come with not like the trolling business. Ain't not a trolling business. The Canadian, Jamaican, no, in the and African, no, in the trolling business. We're not in the trolling business. So please make sure y'all respect our platform. Remember, it's broadcasting not only on YouTube, but it's broadcasting on Facebook, on King Simon Presents, King Simon Productions. Also, we're broadcasting on Carrie Ann Ingram, YouTube, Instagram, also, and we're broadcasting on your Facebook too, right? We're on your Facebook also.
Mm-mm.
We didn't get on there, but we got a lot of different. Yeah, we got a lot of broadcast. We all over the place. Believe that. So I'm happy. We're doing what we got to do to keep the healing vibes alive. Let's give that a round of applause. So important. Oh man, how was your week so far? This is Hump Day. How's your week so far?
It was good. I was saying to you, it's very
What? Say again? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was hearing you.
Are you hearing
what? You all right? Don't worry about it. What you hearing? You must be hearing something.
I'm hearing the show twice.
Oh, you need to press on your thing, you have to press mute on the IG. That's why you're hearing it twice. Press mute on the IG.
I'm new. Y'all are new to this. Bear with me.
It's all right. It's on the top. It's on the top. Can you see it? Because you have the windows open. So if you have windows, because I had to mute mine too. So I know what it is. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
Why isn't it? Okay. Bear with me.
How we doing? Hold on, Priestess. We just
there
want to make sure.
There we are.
All right. Just want to make sure. All right. Let's get that a round of applause. She did it. All right. Well, let's bring her on. I'm going to put the flyer in front. Let's bring on, and you bring on. Please bring on with a well-deserved. Go ahead. Do your thing. Who we're about to have on.
Awesome. Yay. So family, we have Priestess Kajara Nebthet, and she is an author, a healer, as I just mentioned, a priestess. She's an educator, a light worker, a mother, a grandmother, earth keeper, nature lover, community activist, dragon slayer, tree hugger. You know, she really is the gambit. She's a student of Dr. Llaila Afrika and Queen Afua. She is the founder of Ra Sekhi Arts Temple, a spiritual organization that teach women how to heal using natural techniques and how to tap into their spiritual power. She's also an author of 13 books, including the Ra Sekhi Kemet Reiki Level 1 and 2, which we're going to dive into. And she's just full of magic. She's full of magic, and we're so divinely blessed to have her. Yeah, so welcome to our platform.
Yes, my sister. I'm gonna throw you up there. How you feeling?
I am very thankful. Definitely thankful to be here with you all. Like you said, it's been a long time coming, but it's all in divine order.
Always.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure seeing you. You know, I know I've met you numerous times, but this is Carrie Ann's first time, and I'm glad that she finally got to you and linked us. So give Carrie a round of applause. Carrie Ann a round of applause. I love it. Forgive me, family. I'm not in my regular area, so the applause might sound different, but I just want to make sure we had a little bells and whistles for our sisters, because our sisters well deserving of it. When was the first time we met? We met somewhere else. First time we met. Where we met the first time? You remember?
I believe it was at Tassili's Natural Mystic.
It was at Tassili's spot. Yeah, it wasn't. I thought it was at Queen Neat's spot. That's what I thought it was.
I'm not sure. I don't think I met you over there.
Because I was there to visit her one time, and I thought, you know who I'm talking about. You remember? Yeah. But that's why I got your book. I remember. That's when we talked about your book.
It's quite possible.
At her temple at that time.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
That's when we met the first time, and then we started seeing each other.
Memory.
Yes. So big up to her wherever she is. I don't know what she's doing. I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but I'm honored to have you here. We're honored to have you here, and doing the lovely work that you keep on doing. Every time I see her, she got something going on at her table, boy. A lot of stuff.
Yes.
A lot of stuff going on, and of course she's written numerous books, and first I want everybody to know, how do you say your name properly, and what does each name mean, please?
Okay, so Rekhit is not my name. That is my title. That was given to me. Mm-hmm. Yes, by one of my elders, as one who has brought back the ancient wisdom. It's like a word to mean wise one.
Okay.
And then Kajara is my name. That was actually, I channeled the name Kajara when I was 14 years old.
Really?
Meditation, and was just asking, what is my name? What name? I was modeling in those days, and
I can see that.
Had like a little catchy name. And so that's the name that came through. And, it was very different. I probably used it for maybe a year or so. And then later in life, after going through Sacred Woman, actually, and facilitating those gateways for about 7 years, I just began to really, get these messages to come through. And he told me, your name is Kajara. You need to use the name Kajara. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, it actually means with the spirit and power of Ra.
It makes sense. Kajara. Okay, got it. I see. Yeah, I'm like Baba Heru now. Kajara. Great. Okay, I spoke to Baba Heru a couple of days ago. Big up to him. We're gonna be having him, and then Nebthet.
Nebthet is lady of the house.
Lady of the house.
So basically, meaning I create spaces for healing, and so we put it out. I do have a couple more names, but we don't have to say
you too, huh?
Yes.
I know. When I talk to Infantry, she has a long name, and so does Baba Heru and Queen Afua. Everybody got this long, but it all means something, and it all means what they're here to do on this planet. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Let's give that a round of applause, also. Yes. Much honor. I got to speak to Queen a couple back about 2 weeks ago. I spoke to Queen, and hopefully I get to do something at her new place in Georgia, in Gainesville. So big up to her and what she's doing. And her mom just celebrated 100th birthday, 100 years. So big up to her mom. Hey, Mom, wherever you are. 100 years.
That's incredible.
I'm so honored to see, that her mother. I've known them for a long time, and just to see a mother still doing her thing, and and being that centurion. That century is not an easy century in this day and time.
I want to tell you, that's for sure.
We got to be thankful for our family that reached her, because I know we were just talking to her about her family, her grandfather at 90-something years. My grandfather lived to like 103. So I mean, that is not an easy walk. But go ahead, Carrie. I know you got a lot of questions to start off. Go ahead, Carrie, please. I'm just chilling. Go ahead.
Well, again, it's such a pleasure to have you. And Reiki Master over here. I'm in awe of you. And family, please go get her books.
Let's throw that in the front. Yes, please. Throw it up in the front again. Let them see it. Yeah, level 1 and level 2.
Level 1 and 2. And train with her. That's So, Kemet Reiki. Just how did you even get into reawakening this ancestral part of yourself? How did you reconnect with this beautiful divine side before we even get into the Reiki part and all of the beautiful work that you're doing on the planet?
How it all started for you. So it's just a life.
It was a process, I actually, went through my first initiation when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was with the SACD, which was a Black organization. And I have to give them credit for really awakening my spiritual powers. Wow. And so after that time, I was pretty much on a quest to just tune in to higher knowledge, to, at that time working with them, I made a commitment to uplift my people. And I was about 20 or 21, and I really did not know what I was doing at the time. I didn't know, but it was very serious. I actually went through the process with Stickman and
get out of here.
Prez. We all went through
with that Prez. My brother.
Right. That's how deep it was. Okay.
Wow.
Stickman. I haven't seen Stick in a long time. Man.
Yes.
I haven't booked.
From there, I also went through. I was attuned to Reiki around the year 2000, and I went through what I call a quickening kind of initiation with the ankh system. The Sacred Woman book came out in 2000. So I had already started reading Heal Thyself from Queen Afua like in 93. So, I was very familiar with the Kemetic studies and fasting. And so, like I said, it was just like a process. They just walked me through to this part. And so when I was attuned to Reiki, it was a brother who was a student of Baba Heru. And he gave me all 3 levels of attunement in 1 week, because he said his spirit has told him to give it all to her right now. So from
whoa! How did you manage?
It was not easy.
Oh my gosh.
My life was just, and I was around 30, so it was around my Saturn return time.
Oh my goodness.
He was just setting me up, to prepare me for what was to come.
Right.
So
one of your brothers is on, Roger Myers, right now. He's on watching you.
Brother Roger.
Brother Roger in the building. Big up, brother.
Right there.
Yes, go ahead.
So yeah, from that process, just doing the sacred woman work really helped me to connect with the great mother Sekhmet and the Netru, and they just began to just, do this, do this, do this. So Sekhmet came through like, okay, so we need you to restore this Reiki to its original state. We need to teach energy healing to Black people. She said, go to cities where there are large numbers of our people there and teach them about Kemet, teach them about my art, teach them about energy healing. And so that's what I did. And I really, had no idea that it was going to turn into 13 books and 2,000 students and, even a whole temple. I had no idea how it was going to evolve, but I'm very, very thankful to have been chosen to do this work. And it is, of course, my purpose. It's the reason why I came back here in this time to do exactly what I'm doing. So
that's right. Family, if you're just tapping in, we're speaking with Priestess Kajara Nebthet, right? That's how you say it? Nebthet, right. And please, this is her. I got her PayPal on here, of course, for the temple. Show love through the PayPal that I have here, the Zelle. Because remember, doing temple work is really a work of love. Because I know many brothers and sisters that are running temples and all over through New York and throughout the world, and it's really a labor of love. Not a labor, a celebration of love. Let's say celebration of love. Really is a celebration of love, trying to get you to understand and understand who you are from other levels, higher levels, inner levels. So please, if you can't show us some love on this channel, please show them some love on their temple. Anybody that comes on, because these people this is their streams of income, so to speak, especially for their temples. And remember, this is her website. We're going to be showing her website. She got music on Bandcamp. Also, she got classes where you can learn how to do this. And that's her email right there. The last one is the email. If you want to contact the brothers and sisters, can contact, because everyone needs to learn it. We got to maintain the balance. And it's very important. Truth, justice, reciprocity, and all of that goes with it. So I'm honored that we have the sister on again. Let's give her a round of applause and show her that love. And sis, I've known a lot of the brothers and sisters throughout the years. I've been doing this since I was 14. A lot of conscious and working with the Dr. Benz, meeting the John Henry Clarks before he transitioned, working with Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who was also showing us in the FOI class the connection between our ancient history, and him also carrying an ankh himself. I don't know who gave it to him, but he also carried an ankh. And but tell the audience the significance of wearing that ankh and walking that path with the ankh, and why it's so. Because even Baba Heru was to talk about him being a police officer, carrying a gun and carrying the ankh, but yet never having to shoot off the gun, never firing the gun. But please explain your walk and why that is so important when you're journeying this.
Yes.
Please.
So the ankh is a key of life. It holds that energy, a life force energy within it itself. The symbol itself vibrates and radiates this energy of ancient power. And so it's important for us to wear it now, because many people have been tricked into wearing the cross symbol, which represents death. And of course, we don't want to mark ourselves with death. We're already going through genocide in so many ways all over the world. And so wearing the ankh right now, working with it, chanting ankh even, helps to balance out that negative energy. So it's a death culture, the societies that we're in. And our ancient ancestors, throughout all the thousands of years, were able to make it with working with the ankh and that life force energy that it radiates. So, I wear one every day, sometimes more than one. And again, even chanting the word ankh, it brings a high frequency, which helps to keep our vibration high, because the music that we hear and, just everything else that comes at us it can work to make our vibration much lower. It takes us down to our lower selves. But
Mhm.
really, this is our time to tap into our higher power and work with God helps us to
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
I say. That's right.
So, as a healer in these times, um, there is so much happening energetically to disrupt our equilibrium, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we're giving out energy, helping others. You know, you're running a temple, so there's hundreds of people coming in weekly, most likely. And that energy, you're recycling that energy plus your own. What advice would you give to other light workers that are working during this time on how to replenish and protect their energy?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. It really starts with the clearing and cleansing of
Mhm.
our auric fields because we do come in contact with a lot of people and we are empathic. Most healers are very open and can feel other people very deeply. So we do have to make sure that we clear ourselves, clear the aura, smudge the house. You know, I'm burning incense constantly
Yeah.
just to keep my energy clear. And then also using spiritual protection in the same way that our ancestors did. So we didn't just wear jewelry because it was pretty.
Mm.
It was because it was serving a purpose of protecting us, keeping negative energy away, sometimes elevating us, whatever is needed. So I
Mhm.
definitely encourage all light workers and healers to have, you know, certain things that you wear just when you're doing that work. Like your everyday jewelry should be different from what you're wearing when you're doing the healing work. And
Right.
then it's, you know, your best spiritual protection is good character and good behavior.
Yes.
So, you know, when you're living right and eating right and getting enough rest, that makes your aura very strong. And usually, you know, that is enough to keep us safe from all the negativity.
And
So,
very good answer. Thank you very
yeah.
much for that, and very good question, Carrie Ann, for
Yeah.
presenting that all the way from TO. People, you know, Canada's got to go on fire over there. I gotta go. When Queen Afua came over there to Canada the other day, woohoo! She tore the place up.
Mhm.
And but you
We need
know,
to get you here.
yes, you need to
Yeah.
get there. We need to. Yes, as a matter of fact,
That
Carrie
would
needs to
be
produce
amazing.
that. Yeah, Carrie needs to
Yeah.
produce that. That's what we need to do. Stop playing.
Yeah, yeah. Because
But,
just
uh-huh.
as I said earlier about, just not having representation
Yeah.
is such a key. And for me, when I found you, I was just like, I jumped on you because representation, I've never seen someone that looks like me teaching this, sharing this, and having me reconnect with my roots, my ancient roots. It was such a beautiful thing. So, yeah, thank you.
Mm. And you know, you and I know how unpopular it was probably 30 years, 40 years ago. I know
Oh,
that
yeah.
for a fact. I
Mhm.
know for a fact how unpopular was the ankh, how unpopular saying Kemet, how unpopular even Dr. Ben went through the madness, even Shekanta Diop went through the madness. I was speaking to her before we came on about the trials and tribulations of having to sneak in cameras to take pictures of the esophagus and the bodies and to get pieces of their body to find out if they was really melanated people.
Oh, yes.
And our people, I feel nowadays, priestess, that they don't respect it like we should. They don't respect it like we should. I think that coming up with hotep N words and all that kind of stuff is just putting hotep and N word is an oxymoron. You don't do that.
Right.
Because if you knew the deeper spiritual meaning behind it, you would never do it. And if you honored your ancestral, and I get upset when I hear that, but they've made it into a parody. They made it into a joke. Some of the biggest lecturers, I won't even say their name, has said it like that, and some of the biggest metaphysics teachers have said it like that.
Yeah.
Respect to what they teach, but when they start doing that to an ancient name, ancient offering of peace,
Right.
it's an ancient offering of peace. It's disturbing to me because I knew I grew up in it, watching Bens and the Barashangos and all the great ones fight for that. How do you feel about what they're doing with this type of thing? And we need to talk candidly about it, because we got to bring it back to the forefront to stop it. So and the sisters are going to be one of the people that ushers, and the men have to support it. Let's talk about it. Ashe.
It is very disappointing to see, that type of energy coming from our people, knowing that, we're doing what we can to uphold this legacy because it's worth being upheld. And anyone who travels there to Egypt, or Kemet, we like to call it, you can see, how powerful those sacred sites are and the energy coming from it. That is what really gives you the reverence to understand how deep, and to understand that everything, and the tour guides will even tell you, everything has its base from that area, okay? Right. Because they left the things on the walls, and even though people have tried to burn them, they've chipped those walls, but it's too much for them to ever destroy it all. So everything from the calendar that we use, the medical tools that we use, I mean, the astrology charts, like, it's amazing to witness that. But most people don't understand it because we just have not been really good with passing on the information.
Right.
And I think, and it's bound to happen. There are many different paths that came from ancient Kemet. And so because of that, it gave people a lot of choices in what to learn about. But most people don't even realize, like, even the Bible, the Psalms and the Proverbs came from the walls of the pyramids. Mm-hmm. So they tried to make stories about Egypt, but yet took, a good bit of the Egyptian Kemetic wisdom and added it to their religion. They just don't tell people the truth about it. So, it's still a process for us. I don't want to say it's a fight, but it is a process for us to help people to get that knowledge, and ones like Dr. Ben, Baba John Henry Clark, Baba Khalid Muhammad, all of them.
Baba Ashra Kwesi, still doing it with his wife, Mira Kwesi.
Yes. They have been the forerunners in that process, but it's not gotten down to the younger folks the way, because they got that social media, which is promoting nonsense and foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we had our own platforms that we could promote what we want,
yes,
it would make a big difference. And we are getting there. It's just taking a long, long time. But we all know, just like everything that's happening now was prophesied to happen. And in the end, we know the prophecy says, as it was in the beginning, so it shall
be in the end.
Exactly. And that's an ancient saying. People don't realize how ancient that is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then even one of the scholars from Dr. Ben's camp said, we never believed in death. We always believed in the continuation of life. Mm-hmm. We never had the Alpha and the Omega like the Greeks did and all that. Mm-hmm. We had the continual. I got a bigger brother Reggie. He was one of the sons of Africa that used to bodyguard all of them. So I got a bigger brother Reggie on that. No matter what they're doing as far as debating about it all the time, but when I can call these brothers that I know for years and say, yo, what was this on the temple? What was this? And they're telling me about Dr. Rekhit Kajara and all of them. They still showing that love to those elders that transliteration and translated a lot of books for Sheikh Diop from French to English. People don't even understand the depth of what Ivan Van Sertima and all these guys had to go through, and the women in there, like a Rekhit Kajara, they don't even give. I don't see they giving her enough honor. To tell you the truth, I don't see enough of that. I know the brothers in the craft does, but I know these brothers that are claiming Kemet and calling themselves the Ankh Ra, whatever they are, they're not showing her respect when they disrespecting and saying, oh, the Medu Neter have not been translated because of a book that Walter Williams wrote. Respect to the elder. He's 90-something years old. And I understood. You know what I'm saying? I understand the elder, born the same day as Baba Heru, so I understand people like them say what they mean and mean what they say. Done. I got it. But, you know, I think the younger generation got to go into the linguistics.
Yeah.
I got to know the language because that's what they took away from us, priestess. And how important is it to learn the language in the temple like yours? Please. And Carrie, take over after. I'm sorry.
No, that's me.
I know.
So, you know, words, they vibrate at frequencies. And of course, the English language is the newest of all the languages. And so the frequency of it is just not nearly as powerful as our African languages. Any African language has.
Yes.
You can hear those brothers and sisters speaking, and it sounds like music sometimes.
Yes.
Because it's so rich, and it's just, you know, vibrating as they're speaking, tongue clicking and that type of thing. So, you know, those types of sounds are definitely much more powerful when we're praying, when we're even speaking. You know, that's why we do say Hotep or Hetep, because it does bring that frequency from the ancient. Do you know how long people been saying that? Like, it's thousands of years old. And every time we say it, it brings that same frequency from those thousands of years to us. That's just how important it is. It connects us to who we are, you know, to the soul core essence of who we are. Is our language. That's why they took it from us, because they knew, you know, how powerful, how we could use those words. And it was like magic to them, because we could move rocks and trees, call the bees, call the lions, all types of things like that.
Call the rain.
Call the rain, exactly. Lightning and thunder too. And make those volcanoes erupt if we needed to.
Right.
Yes.
So Hotep, and you said another word. Is that the male version and the masculine and feminine version?
Well, what we do know about the Meduneta language is that they did not have vowel sounds like we do. So really more so like tomato, like some people just say Hotep and some say Hetep, but it means exactly the same thing. We have to go with what feels right for us. And because of, you know, what we have done with the word ho, I just usually say
I like that. So if for someone like myself, and for many of our viewers who are like, that's really interesting, I want to learn this ancient language, I want to go back in tune with my source, what would you recommend?
So there are some people who are doing classes. One brother that I know for sure that I love is Brother Sanjeti.
Oh yeah, big up to Sanjeti. I spoke to him the other day. Yes, big up to Sanjeti all the time. Yes.
In the Temple of Anu. Yep. He's a student of Rekhit Amen.
Yes, he is.
Okay. So he's definitely one that I would suggest. And then I believe Brother Kwesi with ajitofo.com is also doing classes.
Okay.
There's not a lot of people who do them. So when you find classes, I believe Infadishi too.
Yes, he does. Matter of fact, he teaches in martial arts. He teaches Kiswahili on one hand and Meduneta on the other hand. When he tells you to left hand fight, you strike with a Kemetic word, and you'll strike with a Kiswahili word, so you can learn both of the languages.
Oh, wow.
He teaches online classes also. Infadishi. Yeah. Juhutimas. Yes.
Him some love too. We big up Baba Heru.
Gotta give him some love. That's my brother, guy. He'll have you in a horse stand for hours. Wait a minute.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a teacher. That's our teacher, baby. Matter of fact, I'm sharing the video with him right now and Baba Heru, so we can.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, we love them. Definitely was an honor to sit with them.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You know. And you know, man. And as we're growing old, I'm realizing that a lot of the children that are coming out of us are not taking hold to that legacy either. That's what I've noticed. And I remember, you know, Queen Afua sitting down and telling about the fight that she had with her own children back in the day. You know, trying to raise them. And, I'm trying to introduce them to my children. And, everybody have their own walk. You can't force people. But at least if you guide them or introduce them and allow them to germinate in them from young, that's where that prodigal son and daughter might come back to the fold after they go to the gangs and go to the women and go to the men and do all the craziness. They got to experience. Yes, I had to experience. I understand that. So what is some of the programs that y'all are in your temple and maybe other temples also that are being presented to some of the young people so they can grasp it from their perspective and be able to put it into a rap like we did with the 5%. When I was in the 5% in the nation, all the rappers and the hip hop artists was part of that knowledge. They need to put Kemet like Brand Nubian did, and not Brand Nubian, my man Lumumba and them from Grand Verbalizing, the whole crew, X-Clan, because I knew Lumumba from back in the day. Me and Lumumba go back. So how can we get that back into the rap, into the music again? Because I know Erykah Badu, she touches and keeping it going in her own fashion. She was a student of Queen Afua and Dr. Afrika. How can we continue to get to those children? Because it's the children that's going to carry this to another level, because the adults are here for counsel and the children are here for the spiritual war and the physical war. So how can we get that back into their mind, especially through your books? That's going to be important. Your books is going to be very important.
Are you asking, is it kind of like rites of passage in a sense?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I thought so.
That is a part of our tradition to give the rites of passage, which gives us an opportunity to give them that information that they will need to use, as they get older. But I like that question. We do have children's classes sometimes, not consistently, and I do allow young people to come. About any child from 11 and up, if they're ready and open, I will allow them to come to class or retreats as well. But you saying that makes me feel like we should be doing more. So we have to meditate on that, because you are absolutely correct. We do need to reach those young people, and putting these thoughts in their minds now can help them, and help us all in the future. We do have the social media that we can use, but like my children's social media is not seeing everything that I see on mine. So we have to find a way to, I think having some young people who are in it already to be those leaders for their generation is going to be important for us to, really find ones that we can help to teach generations. Be something. And then, of course, having more rites of passage, because there's really not enough, not any that I know of. Every parent is like, "Ooh, I need that rites of passage." Because teenagers. I mean, that's why you can see why our ancestors would do that, so they can avoid what we go through when our children get to that age. Because that, it's just so many things that open up within them with the hormones dropping and everything, and we had an organized way to just guide them step by step through some things and help them. The rites of passage wasn't just lessons of teaching, sit down and learn how to sew, but it was also lessons of, go out and get that lion's hair. It's a test of courage. So I find a lot of these young people, they still have a lot of fears because they never got those types of tests where they can see just how powerful they are, how strong they are. So they, and especially nowadays, they're walking with a lot of fear because of things that are promoted, the pandemic, the police, and all that kind of stuff. And that keeps us, from being our best versions of ourselves. When we're living out of fear and heavy emotions, we'll make our best choices. But if we can, and we know that we can walk on fire, or we know that we could build our own house, that gives us that esteem and that confidence, to really develop and use that God and Goddess power that we all have, and that our children have. They just don't get a chance to tap into it because they don't, school is not giving them that.
And it's so funny. I was talking to King Simon earlier about like, you know, a woman's moon cycle. And for me, I went through a phase when I hit my 30s where I started to believe that I was going crazy because my moon cycle was just the sinking. I didn't understand what was happening in my body and how I was connected. So I am sure if I had access to a rites of passage that could have guided me, you know, set me up for what's to come, it wouldn't have been such a isolating, lonely, and confusing time for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Your cycle was syncing up to the moon. Is that
Yeah. And I was having experiences of intense emotions depending on the different phases. And I thought I was going crazy because I was saying to him, I saw a bag blowing in the wind and I started to bawl. I was so moved by this. And I didn't understand. I thought this was, I've lost it.
Those hormones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, these rites of passage are needed. I feel they really are.
I'm gonna put your website in the description. It's already in the description of this video, family. But you could also I'm gonna put it in the chat right now, and then we're gonna pin it to the top. Please support her website and what she's doing and how she's doing and to help others facilitate and understand what's going on. Because once you buy these books or take these classes, like I told Queen Afua one time, our dear Queen, Empress Queen, to ask me to speak before her class. And I said, y'all got to be able to take this and do it with what you got to do with it. You can't just depend on Queen. Y'all got to go ahead. And I know that's what you was taught in your class. You got to go and fly, go spread that wing of us and go spread those wings and go flap it and go become the phoenix. Go out there, because everybody's not going to do what Queen does. Queen Afua does. Yes. But everybody can do it the way they do and be someone that can be significant in the role that they got to present. At least you're going to reach another 100 people. Even if Queen is reaching 1,000, you better reach 100 to another 100 to another 1,000 by the time, because she's not going to be here forever. Just like we've lost Dr. Llaila Afrika, we lost Dr. Sebi, we lost Paul Goss, we've lost a lot of our great ones. We got to respect. They've just transitioned, but the information is still here. So whatever y'all do, brothers and sisters, take the wisdom and knowledge that you get from this sister and brothers that are doing it on that level, and take it to the next level, man. Do not leave this planet without sharing the wisdom of our ancient ancestors, whether you're coming from the east, west, south, north of Akibalan or Kemet or Asia, or whatever you want to call it. Do not leave this planet without sharing it to at least 100 people. At least 100 people. That's what I was commissioned to do. That's why I produced events. That's why I did what I did, and still doing what I do, even on this platform. That's why it's called King Simon Presents Only Quality People, because I'm not looking for a whole bunch of people. I'm looking for quality people that can come on this Healing Vibe on Wednesday, or come on any program that I'm on and get the information and take it. Go and lead and do what you got to do with it. Do you agree, Empress? Priestess?
Absolutely. We've had a lot of speakers who were extraordinary, but then there were some who, turned out to be pretty crummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with who you're working with, because everyone is not of the same level of integrity. And a lot of people can talk a good game, but might not have the backup, So I appreciate you wanting to be very careful about who you're promoting, because there have, I'm not going to mention any names.
No. Honestly, I've promoted everybody, and some turned out to be assholes or whole asses, and some turned out to be good. But the majority of them turned out to be good.
Right.
A lot of them turned. I know who everybody talking about. I know who it is. I know because and let me tell you something, Priestess, that it was elders that introduced some of these guys to me.
Okay.
And then I supported the elders because they was fooled by them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then I say, you know, and I'm one of those people that listen to my elders. I'm an old soul, so I pay attention to them when my elders come to me. I won't mention the names of the elders that said, you know, try this brother out, he's good. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I had some elders that have come to me and said, try this brother out or try this sister out. Then this guy turned out to be an asshole. This one be a this and that, and this one. And I'm like, yo, that means, and I almost wanted to become a private investigator. I was going to take the certification so I can know how to investigate who I'm bringing in, because we're doing this from the heart. I do it because I love. Sometimes I've done stuff in New York and in the National Black Theater and didn't make no money from it. It's because I love it. Right. I brought in Sabi. When I brought in Sabi for the first time in 2009, that was the most I made because that man was willing to share. Dr. Afrika was willing to share with me. Queen Afua was willing to share. Phil Valentine and Dr. Blair was willing to share with me. And the people don't even know the pain behind the scenes because I don't go on YouTube and talk with all that foolishness. I don't do that. Men call men and say, yo, this is what we doing. What up? You have a problem with me? What's the problem? That's what I do on the phone. I don't do it on YouTube. That's not me. That's not how I was taught. That's how I was raised. Not by Dr. Khalid Muhammad when I was in the FOI class. That's not how we was raised. So I know how to do this. So, you know, sister, you are absolutely right. There are some whole asses out there. You didn't say it. I said it. And there's some assholes.
So how do we tap into the energy, the beautiful, powerful, universal energy to be able to discern, to stop, you know what I mean, from the jump, to recognize if that person is not what we want in our energy field, so we don't bring them amongst us? How do we use the powerful energy of Reiki and other energy forms to do that?
Well, I would say, you know, we all have our intuition, and the intuition is there to alert us of good and not good, right? It's there as our guiding force. So a lot of people just don't pay attention to the intuition. And then we have the spirit guides and ancestors who give us what we call the red flags.
Yes.
We always get the red flags. We always get a warning before someone shows their complete behind to us. We'll get, you know, a couple of warnings that are given to us as symbols for us to pay attention so that we don't fall into the pit with this fool. So, you know, that is really where we start. Paying attention to those signs, paying attention to what we feel inside, because you get a feeling, you know, oftentimes, but then disregard it or deny what you feel when it's dealing with other people. And so we just have to learn, because it's a practice, you know, and the more you listen to your intuition, the easier it becomes.
And that's where the balance of the male and female dynamic, because sometimes the male will go with their logic, but if the woman come with her intuition, nowadays we seem to like shut that down. Like, it's just like what I was telling somebody, when you watch the movie 300 and the guy had to climb up and speak to the oracles before he went to war, but yet his negative ego said, I'm going to still go to war because the guy disrespected my wife. I got that. I understand. The guy disrespected the wife. You kicked him in the hole. I got it. But once you went up into those oracles, and those oracles who are more tapped in than you said, nah, you're going to get killed. You should have said, all right, you know what? Let's plan this thing out and strategically. Let me not go with my ego because my wife got disrespected and I kicked the guy in the hole. but it was a movie. But I'm just saying that we've lost that balance where, like Sister Myra L said, where logic ends, intuition will take you. And that's where the masculine is logic and the feminine is, and both are needed, but you got to make sure you deal with discernment. You got to deal with discernment. and know how to use each one of them. So, and I think that's where Ma'at and what your temple is trying to do. Big up to Jabari and his brother and his beautiful wife trying to do what they're doing with their temple and the temple of Anu and what they're doing respectfully, what they're doing. And all the temples all around the world, whenever y'all watching this, of course, Baba Heru and everybody and Infodishi and all the great ones that are doing what they have to do. What I've noticed that a lot of deeply spiritual people can't keep a relationship. That part. And I know you've noticed. Yeah. I've noticed over the years that there's like we talk about Ma'at. We talk about the balance, but man can't keep their wife and wife can't keep their man. I don't know what's that all about. What has happened in these last 30 years from your perspective?
I would just say, it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about the man having the logic and the women having feelings. But the truth of the matter is we have both. We have masculine and feminine energy in us. And what happens is men fail to use their intuition sometimes because they don't necessarily like to feel, or maybe they didn't learn how to trust their feelings when they were younger. So they don't go with the intuitions when they make choices. A lot of times they go with another feeling, And so when you're following the wrong head, you'll lead into these, poor decisions. And so, you want to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real.
Right?
Keep it real.
That's the truth. From what I've seen, a lot of times, like spiritual men will choose a woman who might not be spiritually yoked to him. Mm-hmm. And that is not going to be a lasting relationship because spirit has a way with who they're working with, how we're working and all of that. Mm-hmm. So, and for women like myself, who, I would love to have a spiritual brother by my side, but it's not easy to find. It's not, especially in the Kemetic society. And I'm a vegan, and I'm real special with it. And so can't just be anyone because I know that I cannot be distracted from my work. I can't be distracted from my purpose. And so, having someone who can kind of like roll with me. Most men, they want you to follow, like, last couple of relationships or brothers that I talked to, not even relationships, but they wanted me to follow them. And I'm a leader, you know what I mean? So you got to be a big, big man for me to follow you. I'm going to just keep it real because, I've been leading a temple for over 15 years. And so, I'm not just going to follow any brother just because you want me to. That type
also, do you find that,
No,
do you find that
spiritual, you're following spirit first. And so that, that comes first. But go ahead, sis.
Go ahead, sis.
Do you find that when you are, when you get into these relationships, the men have an idea of you based on your public persona? So how you are in the temple, they see you in that light and they expect you to also be that in the home. And like not, in a sense, allow you to be the feminine, because leadership requires you to be more in your masculine. So in the home, are you able to be more feminine and soft, or do they expect you to still be that idea, that persona that they see and they met in that form?
That's a really good question. I think I would say I have had both. Some do want me to lead in a way or just carry a certain persona that, I really do work at keeping my soft feminine side because I know I have a strong masculine side as well. Yeah. But I do my best to balance them out. Nice. And I would love to have a man who would just allow me to be my soft feminine self all the time. Yeah. That would be So perfect.
Right? I concur.
It's good to hear that. It's good to hear that. What's going on? Where that nigga?
Where are you?
Yeah.
But yes, so
but that goes for a lot of sisters that are that I've seen that are priestess and all that. They this it takes it's like but it reminds me of the church. They waiting for Jesus. To me, I'm just saying there's a whole because they wait. You got a whole bunch of skeletons in that church waiting for Jesus, and Jesus can't have all of y'all. Solomon can't have it because we know what happened to Solomon according to their scriptures. He can't have all of y'all either. So how do you know? Mr. Farrakhan taught a class years ago how to make a god. Years ago, he taught a class on how to make a god. I believe Khalid was one of those gods that was hard to make and hard to tame. And there was a lot of brothers in there. Malcolm X was one of those guys. Jeremiah Shabazz was one of those guys. Mr. Farrakhan is one of those guys. Baba Heru is one of those guys. Dr. Phil Valentine is one of those guys. A lot of them are guys out there doing their thing. But it's like we don't replicate gods on a regular. It's not like it's coming on a conveyor belt.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if we had a bunch of gods, we'd probably take over this world.
And that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Get out of here.
Let's think about all the many ones who were taken out even before they could reach their God self, like Tupac. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like Tupac, who I had the privilege of doing security for years ago at the hospital when he first got shot in New York. I was there for his hospital bed. Wow. So he was one of those dudes that just was antsy and, I got to go back and record. I got to get this message out, so, and I hope that the rites of passage in this next cycle is producing the balance. There has to be a balance being produced. And from my lips to the ancestors' ears, I hope that there is a balance that's being produced because they're trying to throw us off balance with what they're promoting nowadays. And they're trying to creep into the temples. They're trying to creep in. They've crept into the churches. They've crept into the masjids. We gotta make sure we maintain the balance. And I pray that the temple continues to do that. And I know that you've put out the work. Your books is out there. Her website, family, you got to support her website. You got to support the temples. You got to support through the PayPal and the Cash App and the Zelle and her music. She got spiritual music on her Bandcamp. I can't play the music on there because they'll flag my station because that's how they do nowadays. I wish I could just go on there and play, but that's how they do. I couldn't even play my own son's music. They flag it. Can't even play my own son's music. They'll copyright infringement and all that. I got it. I understand. But please, family, support what our sister's doing. Make sure you go to her paypal.me / that's the say the word, please. I'm sorry, please.
Ra Sekhi.
Say it again.
Ra Sekhi.
Ra Sekhi Temple. Right. And Zelle, rasekhitemple at gmail.com. Go ahead, sister. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask any question you want. I'm sorry, Carrie.
So,
yes,
we're moving into so there's two sides to this, the 2024, where depending on how you are viewing it, based on your belief system, based on your heart, it could be terrible, or it could be the most magnificent year ever. What advice would you give people, or how, on how to take the most positive advantage of next year, the year of the 8?
So,
from Sekhmet's point of view.
Definitely.
We want to start with remembering the power of our thoughts. And so how we view it or how we expect it to be is exactly how it will be for us. So we want to go into it with the thoughts that it's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be exactly where we need it to be. And despite everything else that's going on in the world, Pamoja Tutashinde, together we will win. So if we're working together, if we are supporting each other, families, friends, communities, this is our time to come together because we see the changes that are happening all over the planet. We are watching Babylon falling right in front of our eyes. And there in Africa, our brothers and sisters are saying, oh, no, we're not selling this gold for 50 cents no more. And we know y'all charging. Oh, no, we're not giving you diamonds away for free no more. No, we're not. So things are already changing. My aunt is here on the planet. Right? We have called her and she's here. And so if we go into it with that mindset that it's our time. It's our time. Yes. All we have to do is walk our walk, remember our purpose, do exactly what we came back here to do. If all of us are doing our part and we are living with integrity, living with my aunt, supporting each other, loving each other, because love is the greatest healer of all. And so while they hate us, while they're hating each other, we have to love more, bring that energy back. Remember back in the days when our community, back before the crack era, when our community was stronger and we worked together, we looked out for each other. We have to bring that energy back, bring that love vibration back to our families, pre-pandemic era.
Yes.
Exactly.
Together, and they brought that distance for a reason. But it's okay because, we can still bring it around again once more. And that's what we are meant to do. And that's exactly what we will do. They can't stop it. They've tried everything to stop it. But, the divine, the creator, the ancestors, the prophecy.
Yes.
Right.
Everything else is working in our favor and on our behalf.
Yes.
So we are doing the right things, we're going to be just fine.
And give that a round of applause. Now, before we finish, and family, please pardon me because I'm not in my office. That's why I got a background. Y'all know me. Y'all know I got other bells and whistles. But what are some of the retreats that you got coming up? What are some of the things that you got coming up? The events I see here on your web. What can you tell people what they need to look out for as far as what you're doing with your temple?
Absolutely. Yes. So we have classes coming up in Atlanta in the end of January, and then we'll be going to Florida.
Okay, that's where I'm at now. Florida.
Yeah, that's the place to be in the winter. Go where it's a little bit.
Exactly.
With that good energy. So we'll be going to Florida. We're planning to go to Jamaica in March. Going back to Sedona again. I love Sedona.
Yeah, me too. I love Sedona.
I've never been. I've heard great things about it.
You need to go. It's beautiful. And so we're going there in April. And then the rest of the year schedule will be posted soon. I'm looking at doing a survival camp here in Atlanta in May.
Yeah.
And so I have several teachers who will be doing classes in different cities as well. So Augusta, we got some more classes coming up in California. One of the Sebas, the teachers, we'll be doing Oakland, LA, and San Diego. We got classes coming up in Philly, Chicago, DC, prayerfully very soon. And so just stay connected because we are definitely pushing the button for 2024. We're going to be all over the place.
What's the survival? Sorry, Simon.
Yeah, go ahead. No, that was it. Go ahead.
What's the survival classes?
Yeah, Baba Hannibal Afrika, peace and blessings to him, is the one who started the survival camps many years ago. And I had the pleasure to attend a few of them by some of his teachers. Okay. And so it's something that has come back around for me to go ahead and schedule to do them again. Because, just teaching survival skills, how to build a fire, building a shelter, filtering water, finding foods or edible foods that are growing around where we live, martial arts and self-defense, of course, first aid, things like that. Stuff that we all really need to know.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, I used to teach it in New York, but it was more urban survival, not in the woods. Urban survival, different. I still walk with all my equipment, a e-kit. I always walk with an e-kit in case of emergency to filtrate water and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
But I'm waiting for one of the gurus to come out with his new book, a brother named Aton Edwards, and then we'll probably be back on, doing a media blitz and trying to get things to, because it's really directed to our people, because we are the least prepared.
Yes.
Know that. We are the least
have a commune, like we don't have one commune here, but
no, that's it. And I stopped teaching classes. I've been doing it for over 20 years, and I stopped teaching classes because everybody's reactive. A new movie come out. Trump says something. This person says something. That's when y'all gonna come to me and call me. Yo, so Simon, what you think I should do? This is a self-reliant program, and you have to build self in order for you to be reliant. You got to build self mentally, physically, and spiritually. You can't. If I throw my kit in front of 100 of y'all, you wouldn't know what to do with my tools in my kit, because it's a self-made kit for self. Okay. You don't know what to look for. You don't know what to do with it. You don't know what, you might know what a needle is. You might know what a needle and thread is. But if you don't know what to do with it, and you don't know how to improvise and adapt like we was taught by Aton and the various other people, and Griff, I know I'm going to be training more gun training with Griff out here, Professor Griff in Georgia. We don't realize that it's not a community. And I'm glad that you're going to be doing that with my brother Hannibal and them, because community, if everybody in the community don't know what to do in case of emergency, then that becomes the weakest link in the community. Mm-hmm. It's a waste of time. I might as well just bury him and turn him into food. Done. I'm just serious, because at the end of the day, they're going to be food. We're all going to be food in this planet.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I might as well say, hey, you know what? Go be some fertilizer, because you're wasting our time. So that's why it's really upsetting to me sometimes, but I keep a jovial, happy attitude when somebody see a movie like Leave the World Behind. Really? They've been telling us this from The Deliverance, from Rosemary's Baby, from all these movies from when I was a child. I've been watching I Am Legend. That's a remake that Will Smith did. We've been seeing that movie.
Right.
With the white boy in it. Them type of movies. We didn't see the invasion movies and the spaceships.
All of that was coming.
We've been waiting for the Jetsons. We've been waiting for the Jetsons, and there was no black folks in the Jetsons.
Right.
So
in my group, I'm like the weird anomaly, because I have a bug out bag, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I have studied a little, I know how to forge. I know what to eat if I'm outside. And in Canada, it's not
right.
The weather, like our weather is so extreme. So understanding what is in season is so important. So you just like put something in my head. I need to see if there are people who
what's so funny
here.
I used to live in Canada. And what's so funny, if you got a lot of snow, you got a lot of water to purify.
Yeah.
I need the water. That's the most important thing you might ever need is water. So you got a lot of water to purify. And we have a lot of lakes.
We have a lot of lakes.
But if I've been there, snow is up to here. What the heck is going on here? So, but I'm so honored. We're so honored that we had you on, sister. I know we could get on a tangent. We could get.
I would love to have you to come. I don't know if you would be interested in teaching a section at survival camp.
Oh yes, I'm just waiting for my chief instructor to come out with his new manual, and then I'm gone again, because he has one called Preparedness Now already out there since 2007. But now he got a new manual called Afro Prep for Black folks. It's about 1,000 pages.
Wow.
So he's going to be doing The View. He has to do Katie Couric's show. He has to do a few other shows, but I'm going to be a part of that whole blitz, that whole media blitz. So yeah, once he give me the go, because And the website is called readyforanything.org. Ready for anything.
I like that.
Spell it out. It's not no number 4. It's not Ebonics. Ready for anything. That's our website. So you can check. You'll see me walking and you'll see a picture of me walking people out of New York, showing them how to get out of escape from New York. I did all that type of stuff back, and that's over 15 years ago already. So I'm it's just, I'm perturbed, my sister. I love my people. I would rather teach my family and see if they can get it than that family teach the community and the community teach them. I'd rather do it like that. But as soon as he released that book and he gives me the go, I'm going. But right now I'm just keeping it to myself and keeping quiet and watching how people rolling. And then, but I'm in Atlanta, so, you catch me definitely at Professor Griffin. We could do something. I'll definitely come and do something, but he's going to release it this, the end of this month. He's releasing it in Black History Month, Melanated History Month. So yeah, we'll be ready. And I'll see if I can bring him down from Canada and let's do it.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, he's ready. He's been doing it for 40 years. And his wife he used to be married to Kim Coles. And his wife is Kendall, is a hypnotic therapist right now. That her name is
they're in Canada?
Yeah, they live in Toronto.
Oh,
Kendall lives in Toronto.
Okay, I have to reach out to her because I need training. I want to understand.
Call
yes.
Kendall.
Yeah.
And Ajon is there, but he's about to come to America because we got to do this work. So you get with Kendall and she already know who you are. We need to bring her on, but Sister Priestess Kajara, I'm down. I just want to make sure we ain't playing no games and all that. We training, we on it. I'm here. My nephew is a full-fledged martial arts trainer, so we grew up in the dojo doing what we do. So we under Dr. Moses Powell and Soki Littlejohn. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? So we here, we ready for it. We just having some fun and just keeping quiet because you can't tell everybody. I know they listening right now. You can't tell everybody. You gotta shut up. It's a pleasure, my sister. Any other questions you gotta ask, Carrie? I want to make sure you get all you gotta get out of it.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
No more questions? Any more questions? I want to make sure you're all right with the sister. I gotta make sure you're all right now. You're in Canada. You don't get all of this now like that.
I know. I wish I was there with you guys. It seems. I know.
and sister, we just met each other here in Atlanta when she came to Atlanta, and then we decided to do a show because the energy was just right there. Naturally. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing. Both of us are Aquarius, so we're on the misnomer Aquarius.
Yes. What are you? What? We didn't even get that. When did you... Oh, you're Virgo.
The 10th, I think. Right? The 10th.
Yes.
The 10th. Oh,
the 10th.
Virgos are amazing.
That's why she's so direct and a straight way. That number 10 boy.
And very even, calming,
I'm looking at the numbers.
As we get a little older, we do simmer down and calm down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Always like this, I can tell you that.
especially with that number 10, that's a fire number. Number 10 is a fire number, so that's a whole different animal. With the 0, that's a whole different energy with it. Congratulations, girl. Congratulations.
Awesome.
You know what? I actually had a numerology report done when I was in my earlier 20s.
Oh, yeah? With who?
And it was a young lady in D.C. that I
in D.C.
met.
Okay. I thought you had Lloyd Strayhorn or something. That's my teacher now.
It was a young sister, and she read my numbers, and she said, "Oh, wow, you're going to teach a lot of people, and you're going to be a big healer or something like that." She told me I was going to write books, and I was
that's a writer's number. That's right. She's right. That's all right. That's why I'm writing. I'm born on the number 1 too. I'm born February 1st, same day as Rick James and Dennis Brown and a few other people. So writing, I love to write. I'm here writing now while I'm here. I'm out here writing.
I would write books at all, but that young sister told me that numerology report definitely was like a milestone in my life, and everything she said came true much later. So I know how beautiful the science is. So you
got it.
But I mentioned that. But
Thank
amazing.
you.
it's been such a pleasure to be here with you.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Let's give her a round of applause, family. Let's give her a round of applause. Again, forgive me for my mateship applause, because I'm not in my office. But next time we have you on, sister, we better talk about more of the activities you got coming up, and you know what you're doing and how you're doing things. So I've had Queen, I've had you on, I've had Esther, we've had Queen Esther also, we had Queen on the healing vibe. So hey, we're doing quite good, right, my sister?
We're so blessed, you know, like to have your beautiful energy sharing. And audience, please go check her out. She is the real deal. Her heart is in it. And this work is not an easy work, but it comes from a place of love, heart-centered love. So yes, support her, please.
Thank you, sister Priestess, and have a great evening and enjoy and make your prayers and do your meditation like I could tell you about to do. It's time. All right, love and respect, sister. Love and respect. Finally.
Much love.
All right, let's make sure that was our sister in the building. Man,
that was so beautiful.
That was good. We had a good time.
Yes.
Man, I hope I didn't say too much, because I can get in my soapbox.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know, because look, I'm really, and those who know my heart, that I've been doing a lot of this promotion and production for years to help bring some type of quality to the community. And, like I said earlier about what they say about the words and using that with the Negro word, it's just a painful thought, because I'd never do it. Probably just in hearing it, and you might laugh and chuckle, but it's really not a laughing matter when you could put those type of words from an ancient vibratory language to a European Latin mix, lower frequency energy. It just don't work. So we just got to keep on doing our work, and we got to make sure you turn up in Toronto, turn up in Canada. We got to make sure we hit up different parts of Canada, because there's a lot of your brothers and sisters out there that need the message, and they say they know. A lot of them know, and a lot of them are, but they don't know. Just like what you told me some months ago, you said you can't find them. You can't find them. Where they at?
They're all spread out. Yeah.
Exactly. Man, but
and authenticity. I am humongously laser sharp focused on authenticity. If you're not, I'm not gonna mess with you. So, or I'm just gonna, if we were hanging, I'm just gonna slide out on the quiet, because that's really important, especially for this work. And when you're dealing with people in their vulnerable state, you have to be authentic about what you're doing. So
she's absolutely right. And please, family, make sure you support Carrie Ann Ingram, of course, at her link tree at / Carrie Ann Ingram. And my link tree is King Simon, the Numero Veda. And thank you all very much. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. Whatever time you might watch this, there's going to be people that's going to watch it while we're not even live. Just want to thank all of you from all over the world, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet. Thank you very much. Believe me, we do this for the love, not for the likes. That's what Chronic said. We do it for the love, not for the likes. We like the likes, but we do it for the love, not for the likes. And that's why it's about quality and not just quantity. It's quality and not just quantity. That's why we still have great people that come on to support us. Next week, we got the great actor himself coming in, not just an actor, but an extraordinary individual whom I know personally and whom Carrie knows personally, and Carrie Ann knows personally. And him and I have worked in the same field back in the day, and he knows my relatives. My uncle was one of his teachers. in acting in Jamaica. So it's a powerful thing when I found that out as I was speaking to him, and that he was influenced by great people like the Record family out of Jamaica. And one of my uncles still write for the Gleaner, for pantomime and all that. He write for plays and all that up to this day in the Gleaner. And he's about 70 odd, going on 80 years of age. He just can't stop. Him love to write. Love to write. He born the same day as Tyler Perry, so I understand why he's a workaholic even to his older age. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait.
And sometimes people like that don't see it as work. It's
love, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's what's keeping them alive and well.
Exactly. And we have him. We have our brother Paul Campbell coming in next week. Oh yeah, right. That's right. If you don't know that face, there's the face up close and personal. That's the brother that's coming in. And
Why I'm saying? Walk and live. Talk and bumble clot dead.
Wait until you hear the story behind that.
Okay. Okay.
About that with him. Y'all gotta hear the story behind that movie. And one of the movies you have to hear that story. And he's very articulate, so don't worry. He's theatrically trained, so he can speak the language, and been trained in England and all over the place. So, I can't wait and heal him up all the time, heal him up for all that he's gone through and what he's done. I can't wait to have him on next week. It's going to be
and it's a great way to end the year.
Yeah. That's right. On the 27th, right? He's closing out the year for us. That's right. So
and then we were back at the end of January.
Yeah, I'll still be out in Florida though, so next week too. So I'll still have this background. Huh?
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that background.
It looks good. Come on.
It does.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah. And big up to Carrie Ann Ingram. She's the designer of all these backgrounds that you see in these flyers for Wednesday. She designs all of this. I'm blessed to have her around me and to have met her. And honestly, Carrie, thank you very much for your greatness, because we're born a few days after each other. So that's the Aquarian greatness that we have to do, and keep on flowing and keeping it. And I'm glad that you're doing the best you can where you're at. And don't give up on Toronto yet. There's still a lot of people out there that needs help and guidance, and we won't give up on Canada, even if we have to do a live. If we have to bring somebody out there for them to pack up their holes, because it can be done. If I seen what I seen in Montreal, it can be done in Toronto, because it has been done before. So I can't wait. So we're so glad we had this time together. And we thank our sister for coming on again. We want to thank our sister for coming on, Priestess Kajara. Man, what a very good show. And all right, so we'd like to say peace and love, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Airi, and Islam, and all of the good words that means peace and blessings to all of you out there.
Ashe.
Anything you want to say, beautiful? Go ahead, close it out.
Guard your heart. Take care of your heart. Breathe. Remember to breathe. And I mean that deep gut breathing, where you into the diaphragm and just release it. Don't hold on to anything that is stressful. Release it, because stress breaks down our organs. Stress is the number one killer. Right? So remember that. Guard your heart and breathe. So until we see each other again, much love.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.